Hello, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Let me just share this link with Facebook. Uh, there we go. Let me pin that. Okay. There we go. Hi, guys. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmie from Emmie Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So I'm a little bit nervous simply because it's a love reading. I don't know why it makes me nervous. I'm just, yeah. And people are asking, this is a matcha green tea latte. All right. I'm already starting to sweat because I'm so nervous. Oh, shoot. All right. So I asked what this reading was going to be about. And this reading is a legit love reading, is what I was told. Because I was like, Michael, don't mess around. Okay. Don't mess around. I want to know what this reading is about. Because he was just like, just launch the live stream. And I was like, don't mess around. What's the reading going to be about? And he goes, it's going to be a love reading. A what? No, it's not. And he's like, it's a legit love reading. So here goes. Think about the person that you love, or maybe not. Maybe just kind of, maybe just, I don't know, just kind of wing it and see who comes to mind when when the reading starts, okay? Maybe it's better to do that instead. Just really see who comes to mind and allow yourself to just, I don't know, just allow yourself. I'm nervous, okay? Y'all give me a break. I'm nervous. I don't know where this reading is going to head. Hi, Mamie. Okay. All right. If you guys cannot hear me on YouTube, on Facebook, go to YouTube. Go to YouTube, okay? All right. I'm so so nervous. I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous. Okay, okay, yes, fine. I'm in compliance. I will comply today. I got tons of sessions. Ooh, what is your intention? Like right from the start, what is your intention here? Are you going to use this reading to further, whatever struggles you have? Oh, I'm just throwing cards everywhere. Oh my God. Ooh. Oh my God. Okay. Is it too fast? Am I doing it too fast? No, I'm doing it just enough. Okay, Michael says pull that stack out, pull a couple out from there. This is a lot of cards. I have sessions this morning, dude. All right. Okay. Well, this is like a freaking eighth of the deck for each deck. Okay. Let me just. Okay. We're almost there, guys. Okay. That. And then we have clarifier cards in front of me. Okay, let's get started. Am I the drama? I'm not the drama. Yes. Yes, we're the drama. Okay. Let's get started now. Okay, so what was your intention? What do you want to come out of this situation? Whatever the situation is, what is it that you want from it? Are you looking for clarity? Are you looking for maybe I don't know. What are you looking for? Are you looking for love? Manifestation. Melba, maybe you can manifest that eighth. Who knows? You know, maybe you can manifest the eighth. So it's about allowing what you want to come to fruition. For many of us, what we do is we get so close to manifesting what we want, and then we totally just like ease up off of it as soon as we are right there from manifesting it. I know I'm not the only one that does that. I know I am not the only one that does that, where you can feel it coming to fruition and then it scares you. So then you're like, oh, no, 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 I don't really deserve that. Yeah, you do. Knock that off. See, prosperity. Melba, I'm going to speak into creation that you find an entire O just laying on the floor somewhere as you're walking through the city. Something about Las Vegas when I used to live there. I would find full on spliffies. I would find twomps. I would find little baggies of like, and I'm just walking from the car to the grocery store or whatever. I'm just like, yo, what's wrong with people here? Do they not value their stash? Do they not value their stuff? I'm just saying, I mean, girl, if my 12-year-old senior citizen dog could find a pound and eat a quarter pound, I'm pretty sure, girl, you could manifest an eighth. Or no, who knows? Who knows? I'm not into the sticky, icky life. I'm not about the devil's cabbage, but I'm definitely not going to hate on you if that's what your life is focused on right now. Manifest what you want. I'm just saying, manifest what you want. And I agree with Nancy. Think big, Melba. Don't settle for an eighth. Go for the whole O. Okay? Okay, so Autumn was upside down. So this is the start of the story. Autumn went upside down, and there were things that occurred that caused whoever this is to kind of get all buzzy in their heads. Okay. They got all buzzy in their heads. And then I guess their life began to fracture and things began to get real intense. It's either for you or it's for the person that you are in love with, right? Right. So we'll see. Whew. Then something magical happened. There was this aha moment. There was just this aha moment where they realized something. It's like the light turned on, right? This light bulb turned on in their head and they began to realize, oh, dare I say it? I don't know if I'm going to be encouraging toxic behavior with this reading. Shit. Dare I say it? It's this sense, it's this really, really strong sense that they realize their life is going to continue to go in this way where it's just like a lack of happiness unless you're in their life. Y'all are the drama. I'll tell you right now. I will tell you just straight up. Y'all are the drama. I'm not claiming none of this reading. You guys, this person is just like hyper fixated on you. Hyper fixated on you. It's just you. I would not be surprised if, Jesus loves me. Oh, yes, he does. Jesus loves me. Oh, yes, he does. We just got to bring Jesus up in this mix. I don't know how this is going to end. I'm so serious. I don't know how this is going to end because this is a really intense realization this person is having. They can't even keep it secret anymore. In reverse, they can't keep it secret from themselves. They can't hide it. They can't explain it away. They can't any of that. I don't know how this is going to turn out. And I mean, okay, so let me look this up. Okay. I think like they're trying to let it go, but I don't think they'll be able to. See, stagnation, slow changes, partial change, inertia, narrowly avoiding a serious accident. They narrowly avoided a really, really poor life choice. And part of that avoiding it has a lot to do with that realization of how you fit into their life. So, gosh, this is intense already. Ooh, dang. I think this person is really willing to dedicate themselves to you if you would just allow it. If you would allow it, they're willing to dedicate themselves to you. I don't know if you guys got to be very careful about how you allow this to play out. Okay. That's just a disclaimer right there. This reading is not going to apply to everybody. I just want to say that first and foremost. It's not going to apply to everybody. It's not going to explain every situation. And you have to use elevations and discernment to be able to decide whether or not this applies to you. All right. Concealment. So they can't keep it a secret, but they're trying their best to minimize the way you receive this. Okay. They're kind of weirded out about being in such a vulnerable space with you. I don't even know if they've reached out to you yet. I don't know if you know who it is, but this is someone who is just like, they are absolutely deeply, deeply, deeply just so effing deeply in love with you. They're not even trying to clear you from their thoughts anymore. It's just like they're fully embracing this. They are fully embracing the marination in the thoughts of you. Oh man. Oh man. Oh goodness gracious. Oh man. Let me this got me really nervous. Oh my goodness. Let me just close some of these things out and maybe all right. We're going to be okay. Their foundation is upside down. You know, their foundation is just I guess they really, really thought that it was no big deal, that in time they would get over whatever it is they're needing to get over. And they never did. And with time, as time passed, it just amplified the gravity of you. It amplified it. I don't know if you were trying to teach them a lesson. I don't necessarily feel like you were. Maybe for some of you, you were. But this just feels totally like there was a complete breakdown of communication. There was just everything kind of just fell apart. And for this person, they really truly were holding on to this belief like if they just hold on long enough, you'll fade away. That it's no big deal. They can get past it because they've gotten past everything else. Maybe this is someone who has no problem shutting off their emotions for pretty much every other relationship or connection they've been in. And for this one, for you in particular, ooh, that was a big, like, they weren't able to do it. They weren't able to do it. And it's not for a lack of trying or a lack of wanting for it to be done and for you to be out of their head. They're just not capable of pushing you out. That sucks. They go through these cycles. they go through these cycles of being angry that you're not around, and then feeling like it's good that you're not around, and that this is this is their opportunity to kind of build a life without you, right? This is just like really tragic stuff. Oh my gosh. Awakening. They're fighting this process of realization. Like, it's hard to realize that you've let go of the very thing that you should have held on to the hardest, that you should have held on to and cherished the most, the thing that you should have fought for, right? I guess the best way to put it is losing you is the greatest regret of their life. It's the biggest, most painful regret of their entire life. And that's sad. That's very, very sad. Because, I'm not a person who enjoys the thought of other people suffering. Like, regardless of what you've done, I have no problem cutting people out. That's just fine. We'll cut you out. That's okay. We cut you out. It's okay. But just because I cut you out does not mean I'm going to be like, yes, I'm glad that you lost your job. Yes, I'm glad that you're about to be home. Like, that's not how I am. It's just this thing of, if I identify you as toxic for me in my life, then you need to go. And I hope you have an amazing life without me. And I wonder if they were kind of like, you need to go because you're not giving me the time of day that I want you to. And then suddenly they realize, like, oh no, but I didn't really mean actually go. Like, why did you actually go? That was a huge miscalculation. That was a huge miscalculation on their part. This feels like it's someone who is so accustomed to people chasing after them, to people never letting go, that they thought they had that luxury with you. And then lo and behold, you actually let go. Like, oh my God, I feel it in my heart. I feel it so intensely. Like, you actually let go, and they were just like, wait, you weren't supposed to actually let go. You were supposed to just give me my space and then allow me a space to re-enter into your life later on when you've learned how to appreciate me in the way that I told you to. I don't necessarily think that this person is just straight up toxic. It might be a case of lack of maturity back then. Like, they just didn't have the level of emotional maturity to understand the games they were playing was going to be the very thing that burned their entire existence down. So now I'm like, so am I trying to convince you guys to give this person another chance? I don't know. Because you know your history with them. You know what you've been through with them. Or maybe you don't. Let's just keep pulling cards. See? Union. It's like they're still holding on. They're still holding on. As much as it hurts to hold on, they're still holding on. Um, Holding on to some kind of hope that maybe they'll be able to figure out how to work this out. It was an imbalance in power, and it led to an imagination of how things will play out if they begin to do ultimatum type moves. They just miscalculated. I mean, are you going to hold it forever against them that they're poor at calculation? See, okay. Here's my thoughts, okay? Never play that game of walking away if you don't really mean it. Okay? Don't. Because you might run across someone like me who's like, bye. Bye. Oh, no, but wait. What do you mean bye? Well, you said you're leaving. Okay, bye. Bye. Like, I'm literally like that. I think I have Capricorn and Capricorn. I believe my Venus is Capricorn. So, toodles. When I love very deeply. And if you're going to play games with that, then leave. No, the door's not going to stay open. You're not going to be like, oh, I forgot my keys. So I'm going to come back in and then maybe we can kind of talk while I'm looking for my keys. No, deadbolt's going to be closed. It's going to be locked. And before you close that door, I'm going to be like, make sure you got everything. You got your keys, you got your phone, you got your wallet. Okay, you got some snacks for the road. You got some snacks for the road. Okay, because once this door is closed, it's closed. It's closed. You're never going to come into my kitchen and eat again. I don't think so. Mm-mm. It's closed. And that's why I don't have that much drama in my life. Like, I'm not going to play that shit with people. I'm wondering if maybe they thought that they could play that with you, where they would, leave and then give you your space. And then you would find out like the gravity of their presence in your life, and then that you would beg them to come back. There's plenty of toxic people in this world. You don't have to beg a toxic person to come back. There's plenty that will take their place. I'm just saying. So here's the thing though. I'm not completely emotionless. Like if I see a value in you, like I'm willing to sit and talk and make sure I don't even want you to leave. But if you've decided, then by all means, make sure you bring snacks. Make sure you bring snacks. Like I'm not going to beg you to stay. And it's not about pride. It's about taking people and what they say at face value. And yes, I have a right to do that because I do that. I don't say things that I don't mean. I'm not going to be like, well, I'm going to leave then if I don't want to leave. If I'm like feeling like I'm not welcome there, I'm not going to be like, well, then I guess I'll just leave. I will be like, you know what? I feel like I'm not welcome here. So, I guess I'll go. Do you want me to leave? See the difference between the two? And it's this thing of someone playing games and they ended up getting played by themselves. They got played by their own game. I don't know. Let's see. Card number 21, beyond the mind, the heart beats. There was a rhythm that was in place, and it's like their logic, it's almost like they had this brattiness about them, and their logic was planted in the soils of brattiness. And they completely disregarded their own, like, they really literally thought that they could play that game with you and then you didn't play. Or maybe you did for a while. And then it became this thing of like, what am I doing here? What am I doing here? Why am I taking this? And then that's when everything fell apart for them. They know exactly what they did. They know exactly what they walked away from. So then Michael is like, are you going to be stuck on this particular part of the process the whole time where it's like they made this mistake, they didn't know you enough yet, and they made this mistake, it was a miscalculation? Are you going to continue to just fixate on the miscalculation? Well, no, we don't have to necessarily fixate on the miscalculation, but that's a very integral part to acknowledge, because you have to understand how the breakdown occurred if you're going to have any type of opportunity to reconstruct something, to rebuild with this person, and you don't want to invest in something that's not going to be long term. Like, I don't know about y'all, but I only want to invest in things that are long term. Like I have raging ADHD, raging like a mofo. I'm just saying. I don't remember what I'm serious. I don't remember the point that I was going to make, but I just don't got time to be like having to. No. Are you in it for the long haul or are you not? Because if you're not, keep going. Play with someone else. I'm willing to play with you, but it has to be long term. It can't just be one round. Like, no. I'm good off that. I'm really, really good off that. And it's all about what are you willing to accept from people? Is that all you want? Like this concept of a roll in the hay. First off, hay makes me itchy. And I don't like rolling in things. I like laying appropriately with my head and my neck properly supported. Or I like laying on my side with a pillow between my knees to neutralize my hips. I'm just saying. They didn't take the time to get to know what your preferences are. They thought they could bulldoze through this and kind of, you know, I guess that's their routine with other people. I don't know. Maybe that's their routine with other people where it's like they can really just throw their weight around and it's going to be all good. Like, hey, I like my man beefy. I do. My husband's a beefcake. I like that. I like that. But if he's going to be throwing his weight around, be like, look, I'm not going to live in a mosh pit. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good off mosh pits. I'm not trying to catch elbows in the nose or any of that. Like, I'm good. Be civil. Be civil, because if you're going to bring the savagery out of me, you're going to get your feelings hurt, because I can do savage really, really well. I can do savage really, really well. And if you want to encourage that to come out of me with your behavior, that's going to crash and burn. I will hurt your feelings and then I'll feel bad afterwards. And it's like, do I want to feel bad afterwards? Let me just walk away from this. So there were a lot of games being played. I don't know if they cheated or if it was just like insecurities popping up and they were doing this thing of trying to trigger you. And I mean, they triggered you in the wrong way. They triggered you in the wrongest way possible. And so they learned through the consequence of that triggering how not to trigger you again. But is that worth giving them another chance? Card number 4, against the grain. So, for some reason, this card makes me feel like you have to go against what you normally. Oh my God, do my fingers look freakishly long? My hand looks alien in that angle. So this is telling me that you should probably make a different decision than what you would normally make. Decide something differently than what you would normally decide. If you're constantly pure logic, then maybe this shouldn't be a strictly logical decision. Maybe this should be a decision that also involves like quite a bit of emotional processing, so long as you're developing emotional maturity, right? um I don't know. I'm wondering if maybe you should pause before making, a decision that you're going to commit to. Like, just allow yourself to just pause. Don't be so quick to be like, oh, hell no. Just pause for a moment. Pause. Okay. Pause. Really assess the energy of it, assess the way in which they're approaching. Um, have they changed? Like, is there something different about the way they see life, the way they communicate how they see life? Don't just take it at face value of, well, they said they changed. They're using spiritual words now. That don't mean Jesus nothing. I'm trying not to say bad words. That don't mean Nathan. um, that doesn't mean anything. Do you know how many people are able to completely change their aesthetics at will to fit the environment that they're in? That doesn't mean that that's who they are. It doesn't. So be careful with that, okay? You have to allow yourself to really pause and assess, what is this? What is this trying to teach me? Is this something that I should agree to participate in again if it's someone coming back? I feel like it's someone coming back. Ooh, what is already with you, but it's in reverse. So they let you go. You're their little butterfly. Butterfly in the sky. I can go twice as high. Yeah. They didn't take a look in the book. They couldn't go as high as the butterfly, much less twice as high. I don't know. They made a huge miscalculation. Huge miscalculation letting you go. It's kind of sad, actually. Card number 26, relax the hold of darkness and be a cause. So it's like this sense of they bathe in the beauty of your light. I think they've been secretly watching you for some time. I think they've been secretly watching you, just very quietly observing and trying to see, just really trying to see if there is this possibility of maybe returning at some point, reconnecting, maybe reconnecting first just as friends. But I don't know. I don't know. Big bold vision. They don't have any big bold vision. It's just a vision filled with your face and essence. They are fixated. I mean, that part is not really funny. It's like they're really suffering and struggling through this process of um, finding the courage to come up to you, talk to you, to apologize, to acknowledge their lack of proper judgment, come to life in reverse. They thought they would come to life if they let you go. They didn't. They didn't. They found things to preoccupy themselves with for however long. And then that failed. And then they found something else to preoccupy themselves with. And then that failed. And it's just the same cycle over and over and over. Going beyond normal. They're trying to find a way to go beyond what they normally would have done and to reconnect with you. Softly, softly, the tender touch, but it's in reverse. So it's kind of like this sense of, it's kind of like this sense of, maybe you haven't been speaking softly and that's what's intimidating them. It's like this thing of intimidation. They're intimidated by you. They're intimidated by you because they understand the gravity of you. That's why. They don't want to mess up again. They're about to miss their window of opportunity is what I just heard. Card number 7, Legacy of Light. So you need to begin recognizing that you come from a legacy of light. Do not consciously choose to continue to exist in that childhood of the soul. You have to allow the process to enter into the adulthood. Okay? You have to allow yourself to enter into this higher level of compassion and grace, not just for them, but for yourself as well. You're not innocent in this. You were part of the breakdown of the communication. Okay? So we kind of had to take accountability for that. We also were part of the breakdown in that communication. Card number 1, after the storm. After the storm, because conscious connections is in reverse, that means I believe they just ended a relationship. The storm is done, the relationship is over. But see, look, even in that relationship, they'd been watching you the whole time. That's sad. They're in this space of shadow and darkness watching you. That's sad. That's very, very sad. To be in a relationship already and you're still watching, then why are you in the relationship? And I think that's a question they ended up asking themselves, and they exited that relationship. It's time to move forward. It's just time to move forward. If this is something that you're even mildly who that throat chakra is clearing out. If this is something that you're even mildly wanting to kind of consider, you have to be very clear in that. You have to be very, very clear because really the window of opportunity for the both of you is about to pass you by. That it's a small window of opportunity before the cycle shuts down and you have to wait until it comes all the way back around again. That's a lot of struggle and suffering that you're going to go through if this is the person that you need to work things through with, right? So both of you have something that you need to think about. Limitless. The amount of suffering is limitless. This is a soul-based connection is what I'm getting. It's making my ears itch. It's a soul-based connection. And on soul-based connections, if it really is a soul-based connection, which I'm kind of feeling like it is, that means you need to have certain experiences and certain conversations that were pre-planned by your souls. And these experiences and conversations are things that they were going to take you to the next level of understanding for yourself. Sometimes for some of us, our learning doesn't come gently. Sometimes for some of us, our learning has to be done in a very difficult, very struggle-filled way. And that's just kind of how we do. And if you're one of those people, then just accept it for what it is. Like this was part of the process of learning, and we still have conversations that need to take place, or you guys still have conversations that need to take place. Because maybe you do. I don't know what the conversations are, but maybe you do. Maybe there's still conversations that need to happen. Oh my gosh. Mirrored souls. It was in reverse. Usually I'd be like, well, then that means it's the opposite. You're not mirrored souls. This time it's this sense of, yes, you are, but both of you are upside down in your sense of self. Both of you. William Rose, you are not a God-gifted psychic. You're a leech. You're a leech. I'm reporting you and I'm banning you from my page. You are a leech. You're banned. Don't be bringing God into your crap, okay? Do not bring God into your crap. I'm a God-given psychic. Well, I'm a prophetess, and I just prophesized that the leech will be removed from my presence. Okay. Back. So I guess both of you are upside down in your sense of selves. You know, both of you are upside down in the way you perceived what was going on. It's okay to recognize that. Because when you begin to recognize the truth of the situation that you live in, well, then you can begin understanding what you need to change, modify about yourself so that your life will flow easier. Is it because you have to change things because you're broken? No. It's because you deserve to live in a state of flow that is more in alignment with what you deserve. You see how that works? If you continue to see your life in the most negative way possible, where it's like, I'm broken and yada, 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 then that's how you're going to see your life. Then that's how you'll see your life. And that's how your life will continue to unfold. But if you begin to see the reality of it, which is, I'm not necessarily broken, but there are things that need to be adjusted, modified, because I deserve to live a more comfortable, peace-filled life. You'll begin to understand the need to reprogram some areas that maybe still contain the recordings from childhood. They say that your childhood traumas will play out in your relationships. Whatever childhood traumas you don't address, you will find relationships that will help you to face it, sometimes in a painful way. And that's just something we all have to be aware of. Okay. Celestial teacher. For some people, their purpose in our life is as a celestial teacher, not by telling us what to do, but by allowing their actions to be the very thing that modifies our perception. They're helping to form our perceptions by simply being present, either by, creating struggle, causing you to be triggered, and that triggering is causing elevations in your processing, introspection, all of that stuff. Who knows? Who knows? But you have to make sure that what you do will actually continue your growth, not just confine you to a place of further fear. Integrity. Operate with integrity. If this is someone that you were in a relationship with before and they're coming back, this is not your chance to really F with them. Don't be that kind of person. Don't be that kind of person. Don't be the kind of person that utilizes another person's struggle, suffering, need as the launching pad for you punishing them. There's nothing beautiful about being a punisher. There's nothing beautiful about being a savage. Why do you think I walk away from people who invite my savagery out? It's not because I'm incapable of savagery. It's because I see no beauty in that existence. See, there's this quote about truly peaceful people are capable of extreme violence. They just choose peace. So unless you're capable of extreme violence, you're not actually peaceful, you're helpless. I'm capable of extreme levels of savagery. I don't choose savagery. There's no beauty in that existence. There's no honor. There's no Bushido. None. Don't be a person who takes pleasure in simply being a karmic lesson. We have all of these people on social media who's like, don't worry, sis, I got you. I'll be his karma. I got him next. I'll be his karma. And it's like, okay, Elsa, what's karma? Nothing but a lesson, a frozen lesson, a miasmic distortion that's been frozen light code, a video that's been paused. If you exist as nothing but a pause, how sad is that? How sad is that? I don't want to be just this momentary pause. I want to be the entire movie. Exiting out of simply being supporting characters, simply being the villain, simply being, no. I'm just going to be, period. I'm going to be the whole movie. Be the entire cast. I mean, Pisces, we got it in us. We got it in us. We can be the entire cast. We got it in us. Don't worry. I believe in you. I believe in us. I believe in us. You guys, at some point you're going to have to realize everyone is afraid to love. Because of the way that we were raised, the way society is, everyone is afraid to love. You will never have real love until You either meet someone who can overcome that fear, or you can be fearless in your pursuit of it. I've been very, very, very lucky and very blessed from a very young age. I came across my husband who was fearless in his pursuit of love. And he still is. He still is. He is absolutely, if he's afraid, I'm sure it looks like he don't give a damn if he's afraid of what he's risking. He's just like, no, I effing love you. If you're waiting for someone to do this for you, what if that someone is you? What if that someone is you? Where, you need to be the one that is not afraid of actually loving. See, we think that if we actually love someone, like really invest in that relationship, that now the other person is obligated to be with you for the rest of your life. No. I still truly believe that at any moment, any day, he can wake up one day and just be like, you know what? I don't want to be here anymore. And I'm going to be like, okay, well, that fucking sucks, but okay. All right. Okay. The end of that does not negate everything we've lived through together. And everything we've lived through together does not obligate either one of us to continue living together. And that's how you know it's real love, because there's that freedom. And we make a conscious decision every day to choose to continue to be together. And it's not something that necessarily just unfolded. Yes, that was a component of it. But yes, there were also very, very many, many components of each of us having to consciously decide to fight for it. We think this concept of, a perfect relationship is they're going to do anything and everything for us to fight for us, but we're not willing to do that, make that investment for them. So then you don't deserve that kind of relationship. You deserve the kind of relationship that you create for yourself. So what's the issue here, really? For me, what I'm coming to the conclusion of is that we are the only ones who have the ability, the power, the authority to decide exactly what it is we deserve. And what it is we deserve is based on what we accept. When we accept poor treatment, we say with our actions, with our acceptance, I believe I deserve this. And I can disagree with you all day, but is it my job to try and convince you that your beliefs are wrong? Do you know why it's easier for me to teach someone who's never had any experience in energy work? Do you know why it's so much easier for me to teach someone like that versus someone who is, has all of these certificates and is a master in this and that and that, and they went to some official academic institute and they have all of, why do you think it's so much easier for me to teach someone who doesn't have traditional institutional learning under their belt? I don't have to work against what you believe to be true already. I have a member of my certification program. She's so freaking intelligent. It's ridiculous. Not only is she gorgeous, I'm like, hey, she's gorgeous. Okay. First and foremost, Gorgeous. Secondly, ridiculously intelligent. Like ridiculously intelligent. Skill is there. Knowledge base is there. Kind of had a hard time. Not a very hard time, but kind of had a hard time because they were trying to integrate the information they knew before the program with the program. And I tell you, my program contradicts pretty much everything that is being propagated out there. Did you know that a higher vibration means you're lower in frequency, therefore you're more dense? High vibe means lower level of dimensional consciousness. Complete contradiction to what's being taught. Raise your vibration. You do that. You're lowering your consciousness. Oscillatory rates. Based on the rate of oscillation, which is inversely connected to the rate of vibration. When you raise one, just like a teeter-totter seesaw thing, the other will immediately lower, right? You raise the vibration. If it's inversely connected to that frequency, the oscillation, your frequency will dip. When your frequency dips, you become more magnetic. It affects the spin of your electrons, brings it closer, it makes you more dense. High vibe, right? All of these things that people think they know. I'm not trying to convince you that you're wrong. I'm just saying I believe something completely different. And when someone believes in something, you are not going to convince them that their belief is wrong. You're just not going to convince them that. They will fight you tooth and nail to prove to you that you are wrong. Even if it was never your intention to have this conversation of your beliefs are wrong, you're just sharing information that just so happens to contradict what they already believe. Try it sometime. Have a conversation with someone who is very fixed in their beliefs. Make sure their beliefs are opposing to yours. See how that conversation goes. Civilized people will call it a debate, aka a civilized argument. Evolved people will say, no, that's a waste of time. I believe what I believe because I've experienced what I experience, and I don't need you to believe with me. I'll share the information if you're willing to hear what I've experienced. But if you want to hear something just to argue, I really don't have time. The difference between educated and evolved. I'd rather be evolved. I'd rather my education be from my life experience paired with my voracious appetite for knowledge. Oh, Melba says, someone told me I was being low vibe because they passed by without speaking. And I called them out on their BS. Of course, she threw out her usual love and light, which she says instead of F you, then leave. You should also include in your arsenal, Melba, the concept of spiritual bypassing and spiritual elitism and spiritual narcissism. Those are very real things that run rampant in spiritual communities. Yes. And when someone calls you low vibe, you let them know, thank you so much. You recognize my oscillation rate is very high. Thank you for recognizing my state of evolution. That's someone who has no idea. They're just regurgitating. It's an aesthetic. I bet you they think they're woke as well. Surprised they didn't toss in namaste in there. I'm just saying. We have to allow ourselves to exit out of the same cycles of programming that we've been so marinated in for our entire lives. We think that we've evolved to some degree because now we're no longer religious, we're spiritual. But in actuality, spirituality is a new religion. Well, you're not going to 5D if you don't meditate. So what's 5D? Heaven? What's 5D? It's the new heaven. Meditation is a new prayer. It's the new novena. Yes. You don't see the correlation? It's the new religion. It's unfortunate. We go from one mindset to another, and we think we've freed ourselves. But in reality, all we've done is transfer ownership of our sovereignty and soul to another governing body. That's all we've done. We've signed the transfer papers from the church to the spiritual community. That's what many of us have done. A lot of people will teach you a lot of different things. I'm not here to teach you. I'm here to share. I'm here to share. Yes, I can function in a teacher role. I'm very good at that. But I'm not here to teach. Not today. I'm here to share. And maybe what you've been through and what this other person has been through, it's not necessarily to teach you. That intention is to teach. What if they just need to be back in order to share? Share the realizations that have taken place and allow you to decide how you will integrate that into your life, and then you can teach yourself. Mother Earth. That need to speak the truth about the life you've lived, this earthly life. Walk your truth. Card number 35, walk your truth. 3 is a number of a solid foundation. 5 is a number of change. Now, before anyone wants to get on my ass about numerology, I have my own codex. I don't do it based off of angel numbers. Sometimes the numbers will coincide with the meanings you'll find online, but this is my personal codex. 47% at 858, 47858. 4 is the number of the self. 7 is the number of completion. Within that, I am complete. It's correlating to what I'm talking about right now. It's a secondary confirmation. 4 plus 7 is 11. I'm complete in my divinity. 8 is the number of reunification, pulling in all my parts so I can 5, bring change, so I can merge with a higher level of dimensional consciousness in order to shift my perception of where I belong, who belongs right there with me. There's a lot of shifting that's needing to take place. And you won't do any shifting so long as you're clinging to the very things that created the issues in the first place. We need to allow ourselves to have the space to shift and grow. That is what we need the most. So a new chapter is being opened. Card number 24, new chapter. Allowing that new chapter to open, allowing yourself to even put down that book and pick up a new one. Someone wants to write a new story with you, is what I heard. Ooh, okay. This card fell out. See the patterns. So divinity is speaking to you in patterns, right? An unfair judgment. Ooh, we getting called out. There was a pattern of unfair judgment. I assume it was based in fear. I think you guys were reflecting each other. Let's see. Ooh, blinded by bias. Oh my God. So I'm assuming someone got involved and triggered a bias. Leap of fortune. Know your labels. Oh my God. This deck is a little bit too much. This deck is a little bit too much. Okay. So here goes. Like you, I'm all projecting. Okay. So see the patterns, right? You have to see the patterns and how like this bickering has been something that the two of you have been doing silently or outright for some time. And it has to do with unfair judgments. Maybe one of you felt judged. Maybe one of you felt disregarded. I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure. And that created a major triggering of bias. Excuse me. It's like this self protection. They got triggered, or you got triggered into a space of self protection. And then this card of know your labels. You have to be honest with yourself with the label this person has in your life. You have to. It's one of those things. It's just time to be honest with what this person represents for you in your life. And that does not mean that you have to fall into the trap of that toxic teaching spread through all these spiritual communities of just because you have this label, you are now obligated to suffer for this person. I don't think so. I don't think so. No. But it's important to acknowledge that label, because acknowledging that label can serve you in helping to understand why this has not been laid to rest already. Because I'm sure some of you are like, what the hell? What the hell? Yeah, okay. It's not going to be laid to rest because of that label. That label ensures that there will always be this space of tension, this push and pull, this rocking between the two of you in order to create more space for growth. Okay? It's about growth. It's not about sexual encounters. It's not about ownership of another person. It is about growth. Twins only belong together in a sexual relationship if both are consenting to it, not out of obligation. Listen to that again, rewind it. I have found so many twins. I have not had a sexual encounter with any of them. Nothing sexual at all. Not even considered. Not considered one bit. I remember the most recent one that I had found. We were talking about it, like, yeah, no, I think you're a twin. It's weird. That's so weird. Oh my gosh. And then he's like, what does that mean? Or like, what happens now? I'm like, nothing. Like, oh, nothing? And I was like, yeah, nothing. Oh, so you were just twins? Yeah. Oh, that's cool, isn't it? Yeah, that's it. The very first twin that I found, we both agreed, like, yeah, you know what? This is a resonance. There's it's like an undeniable resonance. And then he was like, but what about Frey and the kids? I'm like, what do you mean? Well, don't you have to leave them? Are you kidding me? No. And he's like, oh, but I thought we're twins. I'm like, yeah, I think we are. And he's like, but don't twins have to be together? I'm like, no, we can be best friends. And he goes, oh, I like that. Yeah, you're hella cool. I'm like, yeah, you're cool too. Yeah. He's actually even come to our place. He's come and visit, and he spent the night. He hung out with the kids. Like, my dog thought that he was me. His bearded dragon thought I was him. My husband and him had hella beers, and then everyone kind of fell asleep in the living room. And then that was that. Then he went home the next day. Yeah, it's like we are taught to create our own suffering by these spiritual leaders. I don't give a shit who thinks I'm talking shit. I'm absolutely talking shit. What you're teaching people is making them hurt for no reason. This concept of, but I have to make this work because it's my twin. No, no, no. My twin Ray, I don't even know what their voice sounds like. I've never had a phone conversation or anything like that. I had messenger conversations for a couple weeks, and that's it. That was years ago. I don't even know what year. That was years ago. I've never spoken to them on the phone. I have no idea what their voice sounds like. And that's my twin Ray. No. People will come into your life to help you learn things. I recognize that was the factor I needed to be part of the falling of my house of cards. That was the last trigger I needed in order to completely deconstruct my life and be born anew, to re-emerge as a person I was becoming. That was it. That was it. Is that all the role they're going to play in my life? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not committed to any type of preconceived notion of how that plays out. I have no, I don't know. I guess we'll see, won't we? What if they never come back, Emmie? Well, I hope they have a happy life. I mean, why would I want them to suffer? I hope their life is very happy. I hope they do everything they want to do in life. But I mean, what if they never think of you? Well, good. Then it wasn't necessary to think of me. Why would they need to think of me? But there's no buts. There's no ownership there. There's no buts. Ownership is not love. It's not love. Ownership comes from a human concept of you being nothing but property. That's not love. Ownership and love are not the same things. They just aren't. Right, Moonrock? It's like wanting to be in a relationship with every friend that you make. I mean, some people are like that. You know, that's how they're like, and that's how they're like. It's not good, it's not bad, but I'm pretty sure it creates a very destabilizing type of experience every time. I don't see how that can't make you feel like you're worthless and no one loves you. You know, like you're not worthy of love and that everyone leaves all the time. You know what I mean? But I mean, if that's how you want to live your life, I'm not going to tell you not to. I'm not going to shame you and tell you you're living wrong. I'm just going to say that might be the root cause of you feeling like no one cares. Maybe you should explore that. Maybe you should. And maybe you'll find that that's not the root causation. Maybe you find that it is. It's none of my business. I'm just here to share thoughts. So that leap of fortune comes when you actually take that leap. When you actually decide to stretch your legs and allow yourself to take that leap, to go beyond the confines of your comfort zone. And I think this applies both to you and to this person who is just in love, in love with you. Someone's in love with you, like massively in love with you. Change is unavoidable, okay? Change is unavoidable. They're pondering how to change your mind. It's a ponderification. They are pondering how to change your mind. I don't know. I love these cards, by the way. Someone amazing gifted me these two decks. The Seeker Oracle and the Messenger Oracle. Love it. Love it. I'd use the other deck too, but my crystals are on top of it. All right, let's see. Let's see. Until I heard Emmie talking about love, I really was partaking in the ownership. I didn't know any better, but oh, that's beautiful, Catherine. She says, I didn't know any better, but now I do. It's freedom. If you truly love something, you protect its freedom. My concept of love is not very human-like. My concept of love is based in sovereignty and celestial celestial stuff. All right. Then we're going to have to get going. Seek the lesson. So they're seeking you out. You're a lesson they're going to learn. And that lesson might be in self-acceptance. It might be about the truth of friendship. It might be pertaining to the truth about love, about ownership in love. So many different things. Now, we have to begin exiting out of this stigma that we exist within, where it's like a lesson is a punishment. No, it's not. It's a gift. Oftentimes painful, but a gift nonetheless. Respond with grace. Respond with grace. Allowing yourself to have that grace. Let's define grace. All right. Grace is defined as simple elegance or refinement of movement, courteous goodwill, due honor or credit to someone or something by one's presence. The free and unmerited favor of God is manifested in the salvation of sinners and the bestowal of blessings, an attractively polite manner of behaving, a period officially allowed for payment sum due, or for compliance with a law or condition, especially an extended period granted as a special favor, a short prayer of thanks before or after a meal, used as forms of description or address for a duke, duchess, or archbishop. 3 beautiful goddesses believed to personify and bestow charm, grace, and beauty. Yep. So I think the most amazing one is due honor or credit to someone or something by one's presence. That type of grace, to allow them to be in your presence as a gift. Trust in magic. Oh, look at that. 2 magical mofos. So the 2 of you are magical mofos. Y'all are magical. We are all connected. All connected. See, the doubling, the pair. This is about a pair. This is a bonded spiritual pair. Bonded spiritual pairs are not necessarily bonded romantic relationships. We have to be very clear about that. So part of it is kind of like existing in the shadows, hidden truths, things that maybe come as messages from soul, but it's not really being expressed in the real life. And then the other half of that is like the components of fire, right? Because fire is not just yellow, it's not just red, it's not just orange. It's all these different components that come together because of the different temperatures that that fire burns at. The sun and the moon, the yin and the yang, feminine, masculine, positive and negative charge, the hidden and the seen. So there might be hidden away while you're being very easily viewed. Okay. Oh my God, I want one of you. I want one of these. Not for ownership, but to, make part of my family. Know you belong. It's like a kitty dragon. I want one. I want one. It looks very happy. I like that. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, know you belong. Yeah. And that might be what's going on, is that whoever this someone is, they don't feel like they belong anywhere except in your presence. They feel uncomfortable everywhere else. That's okay. That's okay. It's not necessarily that they're desperate. Some might be. It's not necessarily that this person is desperate, okay? I just kind of want to put that out there. It's just this unspoken, maybe even unrecognized sense of they feel like you're the only environment they feel comfortable in, that they belong in, okay? Embrace spirit. embrace spirit. I don't know. There's something. Is that like a phoenix or is that an eagle? Hold on. Let me see. You're a spiritual being living a physical life. Embrace spirit in your journey and reaffirm your connection with the divine. Fly to the heavens, but remember to look down and see that the divine exists in the magical natural world beneath you. Spirit dwells within all, in everything you see and know, and everything that you do not see, which is unknown. Both the creative and the destructive, the beautiful and the ugly, are born of the divine. So it's this reminder that both of you are born of the divine, right? Reaffirm your connection with the divine. So for some of you, sorry, I'm sorry. My attitude is getting the best of me. Shut up, Michael. Sorry. Okay. Carrying on right along, right? Michael says, for some, this means that there is definitely a need for reconnection in order to finish off whatever was initiated, whether they're lessons, karmic, not karmic, whatever it is. Share your thoughts. I think you got to talk to somebody. I think you need to have a conversation with somebody is what I think the cards are saying. I don't know where that conversation will lead, but I think a conversation is needing to take place. It's making my crown itch, so we're gonna keep it moving, okay? Nourish the soul. Okay. Nourish the soul. So the conversation that's needing to take place between you and this other person is going to nourish your soul. That's the intention. The intention has nothing to do with the romance. It's up to you guys if you want to bring it into a romantic forum, bring it into this romantic space. Alexandra, did you? I didn't want to say. Sometimes I'm just so perverted. I saw that and I was thinking something else. And now I realize that me saying that there's so many different things I could have thought of, and you guys might assume worst case scenario. Let me just. I will leave it up to you to assume my level of just questionableness today. I just realized there's so many different other things that I could have thought of. And now I'm kind of just ashamed, like, oh my God. I don't know. Heed your dreams. Heed your dreams. This has a lot to do with one or both of you having instructions passed to you in dream time. So you're kind of being instructed during dream time. Okay. Advice from a cat. Hold on. Let's see. What is the advice from a cat? Yeah. When we all overshare and give away more information than is prudent or wise. Okay. Take a lesson from Cat's enigmatic gaze and err on the side of being a little inscrutable. inscrutable and mysterious. The world we take our safety for granted because we believe we know the people we share time and space we live in is larger than we may realize and there are ties with. But how well do we know anyone, especially those we communicate with regularly, but have never actually met, right? So be careful what you share. If this person is coming back around, you might, you might need to be careful about what you communicate because it might be used against you. You don't know. This person can be coming back to share a lesson or help initiate some type of lesson. Um, and it might not be something that you'll learn in a gentle manner. So we have to be careful how we take these readings in. Okay. We can't just be like, well, Emmie said this person is in love with me. I mean, my stalkers are in love with me. They're still stalkers. There's still people who probably would like have no problem abducting me. Please. Please. No, I don't think so. Okay. You have to use discernment. Oh, why did I put that away? All right. A king bee. A king acts with integrity and authority. However, a king has no integrity if they are unwilling to hold themselves accountable for their choices, behavior, and actions. Boom, bada bing, bada boom. Hey, if people don't want to hold themselves accountable for the actions that drove you away, there's no conversation that needs to take place. That conversation only can take place when people, yourself included, them included, can take accountability for what they've done, their decisions, their actions. Okay. A king can have multiple obligations and duties, many of which cannot be delegated. So they act to eliminate the distractions that prevent them from completing a task. Are you saying your word distractions? Well, I just took that personally. Okay. Mm. When a problem arises, a king will not focus on who did what wrong. They will instead focus on finding a solution, knowing that by doing so, they focus on possibilities and potential. They will recognize and appreciate those around them. A king knows the importance of gratitude. A wise king will praise and give thanks for the true wealth in their kingdom and lives, the people who surround them. So now that I've hurt my own feelings, hello, Pisces. Now that I've hurt my own damn feelings, let's go ahead and finish up, right? Let's get that final card. While I get that final card ready, I want to remind you guys that I do have that raffle going on. Let me get that link for that raffle. I have a raffle going on, and this raffle is to win a 2-hour meditation, all energetic, inclusive session with me. So you'll have 2 full hours of meditation and readings and energy work. We can work on anything and everything in your auric field. In addition to that, I have secured, hold on. What? I have secured that the producer that I work with will custom create a track for you. And this musical track, hold on. If you'd like to enter into my raffle, please visit. Okay, let me Let me pin this. Every dollar will get you an entry. Every dollar will get you one entry. So there's no maximum. Oh, darn it. There's no maximum number of entries into the raffle. And a winner will be randomly selected. So there it is. I posted it on both platforms. And let me go ahead. Oh, I pinned it. Let me go ahead and finish shuffling. Melba, I think you're already being told the truth. If you don't want to listen to the truth, then that's up to you. But you're already being told the truth. All right. One more shuffle. Okay. 3 cards are left. Nitya Kali. Okay. Shoot. Okay. Shots fired. She blocked it. Okay, hold on. Number 30. All right. Nitya Kali. She calls us away from the world to journey inwards where a path of sacred introversion beckons. Turning within may feel natural or unfamiliar, but in journeying within you will gain energy, insight, and freedom from the constraints of what has been. Allow that which needs to end to do so. Let me read that again. Allow that which needs to end to do so. You shall realize you are not being denied, but released. Let me read that again. Allow that which needs to be, allow that which needs to end to do so. You shall realize you are not being denied, but released. There is something new on the horizon. Honor your losses, but keep hope in your heart for what is meant to be. All right. Kali Nitya is a cycle of the waning moon, from the moment just after the height of the full moon into a phase of decline, right up until the black moon just before the new moon initiates the building of a fresh cycle. This moon phase embodies a natural magic inherent in letting go and allowing for the energies to run their course and die away. It can be a sign to embrace the qualities of decrease for a period, to bring a cycle of experience to completion and generate what is necessary for the next cycle to be more abundant and nourishing than the last. Given your societal preoccupation with constant activity and outwardly driven connection, honoring Nitya Kali requires the use of our will to honor our soul rhythms above peer pressure. Okay? We have to go beyond what we have known. When we continue to simply exist with what we have known, it becomes this thing that is like, what are we doing to ourselves? We don't want any introspection because we don't want to see how the things we've chosen has led to the things that we're suffering through. You know what I mean? It's kind of just like introspection, involution for that evolution. It's important. It's important. And if you think you're going to get through this period avoiding that, this period is going to last a very, very long time. A very, very, very long time. So Melba says learning to let go. Be aware of what you're letting go. Are you letting go of a relationship? Are you letting go of your expectations of some base minimal level of respect and consideration in order to remain in that relationship? And I'm not necessarily addressing Melba directly. That's something we all have to consider. When we think of letting go, do we know what we're letting go of? Are we letting go of the toxicity? Or are we letting go of our dignity in order to be able to more comfortably be tolerated in the toxic environment? Right? So here's the next 2 cards. They go hand in hand. Mm-hmm. 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 All right. So Krishna. There is spiritual intelligence within your soul. It's the genius of becoming, of ripening from potential into glorious manifestation. Intimate communion with your own heart will reveal what it is you're truly yearning for, and set the process in motion for that yearning to be satisfied. Oh no. Okay. The holy fire is Kali, and she is within your soul. Follow the yearning, seek the light. Let yourself burn bright for what inspires you, and you shall see the path to fruition clearly before you. Believe in what is meant to be. Mhm. So they are being baptized through the fire of your own energy. No wonder they're obsessed with you. Mhm. No wonder. They've been baptized through your flame. Let me just read the next card. Card number 42, Kali Kalmasa Nasini. She devours darkness with her endless hunger for light, peace, and redemption. She reaches the deepest places, the darkest spaces, relentless in her pursuit of the lost and despairing. So I guess in some ways you are somehow pursuing them as well. This polarization that's causing a magnetic attraction. It's obviously lower density simply because it's magnetic rather than electric. And I think that's what's causing a lot of the distortions, because this is an electric attraction. This is like an arc welder. So the arc finds where you're welding because you're placing the other node on what you're welding, right? Well, that's what I was told. Arc welding. It's not the same as regular welding because you're causing an arc to jump from one node to the next, and the heat of that is what melts the metal. This is an arc welding that's trying to take place, but because of the distortions of the lower densities, because one or both of you are seeing this from a lower dimensional perspective, not the higher Christic perspective. Um, Lower dimensional means you're being called out for ownership. This is not about ownership. This is about Christic connections. Like Jesus did not own Mary Magdalene, nor did she own him. That was a partnership, that was a willing partnership to be entered into by both. See, what the Bible and some religious leaders don't tell us is that women of that time did not have their own title. Their title, their status was tied to their family, whether it's their husband or their father, right? Mary Magdalene was a very, very specific, powerful woman of her time. She had her own wealth, hence the reason she was Mary of Magdalene. That was her city, not her relative. Just like Jesus of Nazarene, because he was from Nazareth. Okay. She had her own status. As a matter of fact, she was wealthier than Jesus. Let me stop. So she entered into that not because she was given away to him. Okay. She was not given away. She chose to be in his ministry. She chose that. That was a decision she made. But currently she's depicted as a hoe. I don't think so. She was the sugar mama in that. She was not the sugar baby. She was a sugar mama. Okay. Um, and it's this thing of like allowing yourself to understand that there is this electric connection that exists on a very high level that's very difficult for most humans to understand. The discrepancy between the average neurotypical human's resting frequency and that Christic one, huge discrepancy. It's in a completely different harmonic universe. You can't even access that unless you have the key pass. And yes, I'll tell you right now, every single last human being, regardless of what you believe, now is anchored in the fifth dimensional level of consciousness. We've been anchored in 5D since like 2016, 2017. Okay, we're already there. We're already there. But even though we are already there in that harmonic universe, whew, you know, it's this thing of like, that Christic one is still the next level up. That's 7D. There's this magnetic repulsion zone that pushes you away. You can't access that. So how are you going to know about something you can't access? And even if you can access it, if you don't have the level of maturity to be able to discern, decipher, receive, process, digest, I mean, yeah, this doesn't mean anything. You can give someone in kindergarten college anatomy book. You can give them the DSM-5. You can give them an algebraic expressions book. They're not going to know what to do with that. They're not going to know what to do with that. We have such a hard time processing things that are really celestial matters, soul-based matters, and we're trying to process it through a human brain. That is extremely difficult to do. And to the people who are going to be so quick to be like, no, I figured it out. Okay. Okay. All I know is the higher end dimensional consciousness that I reach, the more I realize the limitations of the human perception, the more I understand that we are capable of understanding very, very little. Very, very, very little. It's very, very, very little that we actually understand. So when you tell me you figured it all out, that tells me exactly where you're at in your journey. And that's not to diminish you. That's just to make a statement of truth that tells me where you're at in your journey. All the people that I know that have reached like high levels of dimensional awareness, they don't claim to know anything. They're just constantly seeking, questioning. And I think this person is probably reaching a higher level of dimensional awareness. And that's why they're seeking you out. You're the only one capable of delivering truth in the way that they need. That's the sense that I get. So going back to this card, she devours darkness with her endless hunger for light, peace, and redemption. She reaches the deepest places, the darkest spaces, relentless in her pursuit of the lost and despairing. So only you are, in their eyes, only you are capable of going to the depth that they need in order for someone to find them in their truth. No soul shall ever be forgotten, abandoned, or betrayed by her. They know that you'll let them back in. They just want to find a way to be able to approach you in the most respectful manner. Those that believe in their own guilt, their sin, their shame, evoke her mighty tenderness, and she feasts upon the darkness that threatens to consume them, alleviating the weight of their suffering, allowing their heart to become light and free. And I think that's why they're seeking you. I think that's the truth of why they're seeking you. Ooh, that's deep, Melba. My father-in-law once told me that every decade he thought he knew everything, and then in the next decade, he'd always realize the decade prior he knew nothing. A process he went through in his 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. And if we're going to be very honest, you will continue to go through that until the day you die. The day you actually finally figure it all out is the moment before you take your final breath. that's when you'll figure it out. It's at that point you will be set free from the lessons you asked to learn in this lifetime. Stop pushing yourself to learn things you don't yet have the maturity to learn. You will learn it in proper time. I don't say that as I'm above you. I say that as I understand so much that I feel like I'm beneath you at this point. Beneath you like a pedestal trying to raise you up so that you can see as well. Part of your purpose is service. Service to the collective whole. I think for some of us, there are specific connections that need to exist in order for us to properly serve the purpose we came into this life to serve. I'm not talking about romance. It is a type of love that is so profound that it transcends this human perception of intimacy. And intimacy that is so powerful that it goes beyond the physical flesh. It's this interconnectedness of the very subatomic particles that create the template from which your individuated identity stems from. It's the soil that your seed is growing in. That is the love that exists between specific types of soul connections. The soil never shames the seed for taking longer than usual to grow. It simply exists as a safe darkness for the seed to experience growth in privacy and silence. I think that's what you mean to them, for some of you. And if that's not what you mean to them, then this reading is probably not for you. 34% at 943, 34943 inverted mirrors. 797, completion on both ends, leading to a center point of divinity, highest expression of divinity. 3 is a solid foundation from which to find yourself. And when you find yourself, you enter into a state of divinity, which is 9, the highest expression and level of self, which then brings you to the next part of yourself and your becoming, which creates a solid foundation from which to complete this process. So 7 plus 7 is 14, plus 9, 25. No, 23. Ooh, Michaela. 23. This is sanctioned by the Melchizedek. It's, sorry, it's sanctioned. Michael says, say it again. It's sanctioned. 23, it's sanctioned. So 2 is a number of guidance. 3 is, again, solid foundation. It's a Pisces Vesica. That's the 3. The 2 spheres of creation overlapping for that center point. Pisces Vesica. It's a rebirth. It's a merger point. Trinity. Trinity before the separation, where 2 become 3, and 3 is a totality. You guys, this is a lot. This is a lot. I'm gonna go eat some toast. I finally found bread that I can have. You know, when your life gets super hard and then it's like you're just at the cusp of like F it all. And then I reached that point recently and God was like, give the girl some bread. Give her some bread and some fake butter. She'll calm down. And so last weekend I found bread that I could have. I can have this specific brand of bread, which is totally paleo, no grains, no grains, no grains, no potato. And it's a bread I can have. God said, give the girl some bread. And so I've been having this bread with some fake ass butter. I don't know the name of it. It's in the frozen food section. It's not udi. It's some paleo. It's grain free. It's not marketed as gluten free. It's grain free. but it has no gluten. Okay, I gotta go. Can you toast me 4 slices of bread, please? I gotta go. All right, guys. I shall see y'all probably tomorrow. I think I'm gonna do expedites tomorrow. I'll have the expedites ready probably tomorrow, if not today. If you would like to get a personal reading, if you would like to get energy work done, look for that link. Come to my YouTube channel tomorrow, 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time is when I plan to go live. And I promise eventually I will have that workshop up and listed so y'all can join in. The workshop is going to be teaching you the very basics of how to work your energy. It's just for you, it's not to work on other people. And I plan to make that extremely affordable for everybody. Okay. Extremely affordable for everybody. Jade, you're going to be first up to bat tomorrow, 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Moonrock gifted you with a reading. So thank you, Moonrock. Moonrock's so sweet. She gifted Jade with a reading yesterday. All right, guys, I got to get going. I hope everyone has an amazing rest of your day. Please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. If you are on Facebook, please share this out. Spam it, baby. Spam it. Spam is good. Share it everywhere. Tag people, comment, send it to their inbox. Spread me, baby. I got to go. That didn't sound good. I got to go. Bye, everyone.